Hello and welcome back to Digital Publishing Online, and this is Lisa Gabrielle. In this video, I'm going to continue with the demonstrations for setting up your Typefaces book. And bringing up where we left off last time, which is your 6x6 setup, your 6x6 compositions on your 8.5 by 11 pages. Okay, so everybody should have this document in front of them in order to proceed. Okay, so let's see how to begin here. What I'd like to do then is go through how to, once you've got your label design settled, so let's pretend that this label design here executed in this master page. I'm going to go ahead and double click on it. And you know you're in the master page because the master page is highlighted in blue up here. You can also look down in the lower left-hand corner and see that it is indeed the name of the master page, 1-alignment down here. Okay, so I know I'm on this master page. I've already submitted my label ideas to the professor. The professor gave me feedback, and I've settled on this label design here that I'm going to use throughout the entire book. And I've tweaked it. I've got it perfectly set up how I'd like it to be. It's exactly what I want, and I'm ready to move forward. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my frame edges here. So this is kind of an idea of what it looks like. Now, just a couple of things before we move forward on creating the additional master pages. Viewing capabilities that you have in InDesign, and you may have seen me use a couple of them. And you may have also read through some of these in your textbook. I know they cover some of this stuff, and you may hear me use terminology and make reference to specific things that were covered in the textbook, and you'll go, ah, okay, I remember when I read that in the book. But anyway, in terms of viewing, there's a lot of different ways you can view an InDesign document. Right now, the view that I have set is turned off the guides. So I have the guides turned off. If I had the guides turned on, it would look like this. And if I had my frame edges turned on, it would look like this. So when I have frame edges turned on, it shows me this kind of dotted line out here. And it shows me my invisible grid. When I turn off frame edges, my outer frames go away as well as my grid. And then when I turn off guides, it gives me more of a cleaner look, kind of like it would actually look if it was printed. Now, if you want to see it in the presentation mode, which sometimes it's really nice to kind of remove all the panels and all of the tools that are sort of out here in the perimeter of InDesign, you can come along the top here and pull down to presentation, and it'll put your page into a black it'll put your page on a black screen so that you can see it as if it was being presented on a piece of paper. And you just hit the escape button. That's on the Mac. Hopefully there's an escape button on the PC. I'm not quite sure. Don't have a PC here, but escape will bring you back to InDesign. So again, up here at the top, you have some viewing capabilities, and this middle button here will toggle you between presentation. You hit escape, and you can also preview the document, but in this case, it really doesn't look any different because you're not using a bleed on the project. On the second project in the class, we will be dealing with bleed in the class, but for right now, you won't be using this preview option too much. Just normal and presentation will be your most popular viewing options. And then also turning frame edges on and turning frame edges off, and guides on and guides off. Now there is a keystroke for turning guides on and off, and it's Command colon, and Command colon again will turn them on and off if you didn't want to come up here and pull that down. Matter of preference. Okay, so let's proceed forward. Now that I know I have everything set and everything is just right for my label designs, then I could move forward and start creating the additional master pages. Okay, so over here, the way you begin doing that is you first select your master page and you right mouse click. Make sure your right mouse click is working. And you pull down to duplicate master. This option right here. Select duplicate master. And notice that it makes a copy of the previous master here. Okay. Make sure you're double clicked on it. It's highlighted in blue, and we're going to go ahead and make some changes. So I believe our second phase is going to be called phase 2, and this is going to be called wait. Okay. Whoops. All right. And we're not going to change anything else in here because this information down here is going to change per page. Okay, but we still want to make sure that all of our label design and our title and our page number is in exactly the same place, as well as um, over here the 6x6 box. Okay. Now, one thing I forgot to do that I'm going to go back and we're going to go over that before we continue is adding one little thing, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to add here. If you look at the finished one here, notice on the master pages for this, I have this block of copy here. This is the block of copy that you'll be using on every single page. So you might as well just throw it on the master page so it's there and available to you to use as you get to each one of these pages. So that's what we're going to do real quick. I'll show you how I did that. So I'm going to go back here to our layout, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to leave this alone here because we haven't made a mistake. We're just going to add one more thing to these two master pages. So let's go back to the first master page. And I'm going to go into the classroom and I'm going to locate the project assignment, which is located in your first week. Okay, and open that up. Okay, so I've been reviewing this and you're familiar with this by now. And I'm going to scroll down to this page, which is the poem that you'll be using in your book. Okay, it's called The Poetic Logic of Art and Aesthetic. Okay, I want you to go ahead and select that whole poem all the way down to the end there. It doesn't seem to want to select the whole. Okay, it must be selected. I'm going to Command C for copy. Go back to InDesign and make sure you're on your master. I'm going to go ahead and create a text box using my text tool. I'm just going to put it right here. And I'm going to paste all that text inside that box. And right now it's kind of big, so I'm going to go ahead and put my cursor in there and do a Command A for select all. You can also go edit, select all from here for Command A. Okay. And I'm going to bump that down to something like 9, or maybe even smaller than that, 8 on, yeah, we'll just leave it at 8 on 10. Okay. And I'm going to open up this box a little bit here and pull this down here until I can see it all in there. It looks like some of it is missing here. Images to, let me go back here. Oops, okay, so for some reason, there we go. Copy. I'm just missing some, so I'm just bringing the remainder of it in. There we go. Okay, so now I have the text in there. So all I did was I cut the copy from the PDF, which was in the classroom. Everybody has this in the classroom, and I just went ahead and pasted the copy into a text block in InDesign. Okay. Now you want to set this somewhere that's touching the actual live area, but is still sitting somewhat on the gray area, which is your kind of like your working space. Okay, just so it's kind of sitting there so that you can grab it. It's not necessarily something you're going to need to format at this point because you're going to change the formatting per page. So we're just going to leave it in its random presentation right now. And eventually you'll be working with taking it apart and breaking it into blocks and such. Okay, so right here on the master page right now I have this text. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and select that text, and I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to go to that second master that I created, and I'm going to go edit, paste in place. Okay, so now on both masters, the first master and the second master, I have this block of copy. Okay, and it's sitting here and it's ready for me to start designing, because eventually you're going to take this, you're going to move it into here when you start making pages down here. When these masters start becoming pages, then you're going to start designing this copy. Okay, but for right now, we're just going to leave it out here. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and complete this second master that we've done here. We've duplicated the first one, and I'm going to right mouse click on it, and I'm going to go master options, and I'm going to change the name of this one to 2, and I'm going to call this weight. One thing here, make sure this based on master says none. This should always say none for all of your masters, okay? This will get you into a lot of trouble if you start using this. So we're going to keep this at none, okay? Okay, so now we've got one master name alignment and one master name weight, okay? So I believe, let's see, how long are we going so far? It doesn't tell me how long these videos are, but I sense that maybe we might be going a little long, so I'm going to go ahead and end this one and pick up and continue on this with the next video.